What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Trell here with my heterosexual life partner, DeMar DeRozan. Today we come at you guys with 10 good habits when playing Yu-Gi-Oh!
Before we get started, this video is actually brought to you guys by Imperium Duelist. You guys have probably already seen this, but this is their new 2-player mat. It looks incredible. I don't know how much of this you can see on the screen, but that's okay, because we'll actually be using it in this video. A few quick things to note about it. It's actually the first full-color cloth playmat. Retails for $65, which sounds like a lot, but it's actually really cool considering it's both people can use it. It has new extra monster zones.
Got all the zones, which is very important in this upcoming format.
And it's not a lint roller like some mats are.
One thing I like to do is position-related cards together in my hand.
That's a good one, actually.
You got 5. I mean, the deck should be full of nothing but combos to begin with, just to be honest. But there's certain times you get a hand of 5 cards. You're like, oh, this goes perfect with this. I can do this. Put those cards together. It keeps in mind that these cards are going to work together, and they're going to do what you need them to do together.
Yeah, like what I try to do, like for example, is if I'm gonna like play these cards in a certain order on my turn, I'll kind of like put them in that order.
Yeah.
So especially if I'm gonna use like terraforming before I activate card demise, like in True Draco or something, then I'll kind of like have them in the order I plan to play them.
Right.
And then I'll usually like keep maybe the traps or the hand traps usually on like the far side or something, because they maybe aren't part of the combo. And I think it helps when you're playing those more convoluted decks that like have lots of plays and lots of steps and stuff.
Like DDDs or something like that.
Always shuffle and cut your opponent's deck.
Always.
It really is, like, I promise, it's not that people are bad. Like, not everybody's out to cheat, but there are people who are. And
also, sometimes mistakes happen. Sometimes things you just forgotten. Like, you have never seen somebody who had, like, maybe, they probably potted duality and they put the cards back on top of the deck thinking to shuffle and they didn't.
Yeah.
Those kind of things can happen.
And then especially, like, these days in Yu-Gi-Oh! Where there's so much, like, deck searching, like, you know, lots of draws, lots of cuts, like Zodiac combo, for example, you know.
Gosh.
You gotta, like, get all these cards apart. Some of them go in the extra deck, some of them go in the main deck. You shuffle, you draw, and, you know, there's so much searching with, you know, dinos and all these things. And so I feel like it's important to make sure that you're cutting your opponent's deck every step of the way.
Yeah.
And do the good shuffle too. Like, don't just always give them the benefit of that.
You want to keep them away from their good cards.
You always do the good shuffle, don't you?
I'm always that guy. When I like to use your calculator and notepad to calculate attacks in advance.
Yes.
Very, very important.
If you have an OTK deck, or like a deck that can OTK sometimes, I think that's where this is especially important.
Yeah.
You don't want to like be like, okay, I have game, and then commit all these resources to the board, and you dealt 7,900 or something. You know, like, or left with like 200 life because you forgot about
a certain effect, or that matters a lot actually. And also, it just helps out in the long run when you're like, when somebody says that you're losing, you're not, and then you're like, I got the proof, but you didn't take life points because it's all mental now. So.
Yeah, definitely make sure. And on a related note to you know, tracking out those moves is, in general, when you're keeping track of life points, have something to do that. Do not be the guy who keeps track of it in your head. That doesn't work in tournaments. You will lose every time. You'll get sharked.
Every time.
B, write out how the damage was taken. If you can. Like, if you have a notepad, you know, maybe B for battle damage, E for effect damage, C for cost. Something like that. Just some kind of way where you can, like, backtrack a little bit and remember how things were lost. Because it sucks finding out that you have 5,500 because you used Strike and Cosmic Cyclone, and someone forgot about it somewhere along the way. And
that's nothing I do too. Anytime there's a change in life points, I always vocalize that with my opponent. Like, if I take any life points off on my side, I'm like, hey, I got you at 77 to my 8,000. Do you agree?
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Every time. If they don't agree, then y'all need to stop right there and fix the game.
Fan out your graveyard when you're considering moves. That's not to say change the order of the cards in your graveyard, because that's not legal. Don't do that. But fan them out. It's kind of something that I've started doing. I didn't used to do it. I think I picked it up from you, because you do that a lot.
I'm always in my graveyard.
Yeah, make sure that you kind of like have it visualized a bit.
Yeah.
Just so that you don't like forget that you have something in your grave, or those types of things. They come up.
That's like when like the BA players in Scorn.
Oh, for sure.
You know, everybody who hasn't forgotten the Scorn effect. Like, but when you know it's there, it's much better. Use note-taking aids for mandatory effects once per turn / once per duel effects. Very important, because we all know that mandatory effects are mandatory and have to be done. And a lot of times we forget those. It's like drawing for Max C or something like that. That's mandatory. Some people don't know that. So just keeping up with things like that.
Yeah, unfortunately, Yu-Gi-Oh! Note taking just regular note taking isn't legal.
Right.
Even though other card games have it, I don't know why they don't let us. But you are allowed to use like aids if it means remembering gold sarcophagus.
Right.
Or, you know, remembering anything that has to come back.
Like a certain turn count or anything like that, yeah.
Say Cypher and Lord Omega even, you know, just kind of random relevant example, it has to come back.
Right, it has to come back, yeah.
So if you forget, you can actually like get warnings and like ultimately maybe a match loss or a game loss or whatever for that. So if you have dice to keep up with it or token type cards, you be careful with that. But you know.
Yeah, be very careful with token cards. But it's like also like you're saying with the like with Masterpiece. When you tribute Masterpiece, like you tribute a monster and a spell or you know whatever combination of cards, it's good to keep up with something like to let them know, hey, this was tributed by using this combination of cards.
Yeah, actually, I have a set of gravity dice. They're cool. I know this video's not about them, but if I tributed, say, monsters and traps, I would use, if you can see these,
purple and the beige.
The purple and the beige dice. But if it was like spells and monsters, then it would be like the green and the beige.
Exactly.
And I'll just put them on Masterpiece. And usually judges don't mind that kind of thing. But whatever note-taking aid you have to keep up with some effect that needs to resolve or
right, because those things
like
matter.
that.
They really do.
Keep your play area neat and organized.
Agreed.
It now more than ever, right?
Yeah.
Now more than ever.
Extra zones, extra monsters. Yeah.
I know there are people who used to just kind of like put their field spell somewhere in the middle of the map.
Sideways in the middle, just bam, this is my field spell.
Yeah, and for a while that wasn't a big deal, but these days you really can't be doing stuff like that. Just because zones matter now.
It also helps so that you don't misplace things, you know, lose things, things don't get mixed up with your opponent. I hate like I'm playing against my opponent, we have the exact same sleeves.
Oh,
your stuff's everywhere, my stuff's everywhere. Oh, match is over, you start picking stuff up, you walk off. Damn.
Keep up with where their stuff is too. Their hand has to be above the table for starters.
At all times.
Make sure that you force them to distinguish like what is set versus what's in the hand. You ever had that happen where like you know people like to
have that card in the hand and just put it down in the back row and you can't tell if it's their hand or if it's
and it's just kind of like it's like you know
it's
diagonal.
Like kind of diagonal, yeah. So you're not sure.
It's like, oh, is that like
just sit there.
Is that a trap or is that in your hand? It's like what's going on. Keep them accountable.
Yeah.
A big one too, banished zone with that.
Oh god, banished zones are always everywhere.
It sucks because Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't have like a banished spot, so you just have to sort of make one, and then what ends up happening is sometimes people will like put the banished zone like right in front of their hand, which I've never liked that. I always feel like it's too easy for stuff to get like swapped around. But then sometimes people will put their banished zone like in the middle of the mat or something, and
that's messy.
That's a little tricky. And now there's extra monster zones, so you really don't want to be doing that too much if you can avoid it.
Keep mental notes of cards your opponents add to his or her hand, and also to whatever card they set and where they set them. I know like a big thing was like with Metaphors, you know, they searched out that Metaphors fusion or the Metaphors counter or whatever, and they have to set them to the field, and then you forget where it is. So now you're about to MSC something, but you don't remember what that card is because you weren't paying attention. Or you saw that they added, let's just say they added Maxi to the hand, or they added Beta or something like that to the hand.
Right.
And you know that it's there, but you forget that it's there. So you're playing into it because you forgot that it was there. Like, it's always good to know, or with Zodiacs.
Yeah.
You know, guys, they added this whiptail, but you forgot they added whiptail, and now they just about to.
And it gets even more relevant too when like your opponent only has like 2 cards in their hand.
Yeah.
And they just search something, then it's just kind of like, well, it really would help to know which card is the spell or trap and which one's maybe the other spell or trap that they maybe already had, so when they set, you can keep track of all of it.
Right.
And I think I've got the last tip. Yes, the very last tip. Announce your stuff. Announce your phases. Announce activations. Ask for responses. Don't be the guy who just speeds through the turn. He's really big on that, actually. I know you don't let people move to phases.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I've been warned about, cause I touch people. That's my problem. Like I don't like people moving too fast. Like, oh, hey, what you doing, bro? Chill the fuck out. Like that's just me. But he's right.
But better that than.
Yeah, I hate when they're like, okay, 40 minutes you may go, and then they're like, rat stin, tiger mortar, and you're like, whoa, wait a minute, wait, hold the fuck up, bro. Like,
I swear Zodiacs are the worst with that. They really, like, I don't know what. I'm not gonna complain about Zodiacs here, but all I'm gonna say is the design lends itself honestly really well to people just zooming through and
solitaire players,
It's like rats in and just start stacking stuff on top, and then it's like,
and
whoa.
You sitting there with a Maxi, like I'm about to whoop his ass. Like you better
I mean, as if it wasn't already important enough. These days, there's just too many variables in Yu-Gi-Oh! To be speeding through a turn.
Right, you never know. There's too many hand traps.
There's
too
like
many
4
responses.
major hand traps, plus like 3 million others that show up sometimes.
Out of nowhere, especially if you went, God forbid, if you went second. A lot of times, like I've seen, this is like a few formats ago, I've seen like a personal draw, and then I'll just summon Dinko second. And then his opponent's like, whoa, you didn't last phase. I had something I was going to do in standby phase. So now you just knocked yourself out of a play. You know what I mean? Because they didn't know you had Dinko second, but you slammed it down like that. So now they're going to fucking activate everything they can on their side of the field now. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, and then you kind of get into the like really tricky territory of they just saw what you were trying to do, and now you're kind of having to backpedal, and it's just not really fair. And don't do it. Just announce things.
Talk to them.
So that's actually it.
Rub them. You get to rub them.
That's actually it for our 10 good habits to get into when you're playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Remember, this was brought to you guys by the new Mystic Era playmat from Imperium Duelist. You've seen lots of Yu-Gi YouTubers talk about it, but we thought this was a slightly more interesting way to show it off. Remember, if you want to pick one up, you can grab one. They're only $65. I will have a link to the website in the video description. Yeah, so next time you're playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Though, remember these tips. Don't let yourself lose to the small stuff. It's not worth it. Trust me, I know. That's it for the video. We hope you guys liked it. Leave comments. What other like good general Yu-Gi-Oh! Habits would you tell people?
Habits.
What should they do?
Yeah.
Things they maybe shouldn't do, even. You can follow us on social media. You can, leave a thumbs up. It always helps. Subscribe. Hit the notifications so you know when we upload new vids. And I think that's going to be it.
Yeah.
We'll catch you guys in the next one.
Peace.